Greetings, blues fans. This week, I thought maybe I'd give you a little tip on practicing. And I was thinking recently how beneficial it was for me to spend time back in the day just practicing playing over one chord, right? If you've watched any of my most recent lessons, you know that my idea here is to present a way to play melody that isn't like a chord scale based approach. It's really just more like based upon the notes in the chord, right? Spoiler alert, eventually we'll branch out to notes that aren't in the chord. But for now, I just want to express to you the value of really trying to develop a better awareness of the neck and connecting certain phrases to your ear and how they sound against one chord, which is a really nice practice method. What I ended up doing back in the day was using a tape recorder, but now we have these wonderful loop pedals, and you can just put one loop in the pedal and just play over one chord and have a good old time. In this little example, what I want to do is just talk about playing G. And the way I went about this, and I still work on this as well, is to, after I put my loop in my looper pedal, I pick one area of the guitar that has a G chord, okay? In this particular case, I'm down here at the 3rd fret, right? And so, I've got G, B, D, G, and again, if you've been watching, I usually add E, and I'll add A as well. So it's like a major pentatonic. I shy away from just telling you that it's a major pentatonic right away, because I feel like when we talk about scales, really what we're doing is we're only giving you half of the information, okay? E and A do not belong to the chord. They have a natural tendency to want to resolve toward a note that is in the chord. E wants to either go down to D or up to G. A has the same tendency. A wants to either go down to G or up, okay? We use that to our advantage to create interesting melodic ideas. Okay, so we make our loop, we spend, a couple of minutes playing around and trying to be mindful of, only playing these 5 notes in this position. Now, I divide the neck up in 4 positions, not 5, not the cage pattern, okay? And we could talk about that at a later date. However, the way I understand the fingerboard is I have this position of G, right? And this position here connects to this, I guess what the cage pattern fellows would refer to as like a C shape, right? Because these 3 fingers look like they're making like an open C chord, right? Right? I link these 2 positions like that, right? I move my index finger to this G, and rather than play in what some of the cage guys refer to as like the D position, like this, I don't really use that. It just doesn't, I haven't found a way to play melodic phrases in that position. You might be able to do that, and if you can, great. I don't. So anyway, we've got this position, right? So this position, I've got your standard, like what would be like an A bar chord position. Right? And then the old, I don't know what you call it, Allman Brothers position. practice idea is essentially this. Make your loop, spend a few minutes in this position. Spend a few minutes in whatever the next position is for you. Spend a few minutes in whatever the next position is for you, right? And the next one until it repeats, okay? A couple of thoughts. Really trying to slow things down and play melody is the key here, because what we want to do is connect these sounds to our ear, right? That this sound, right, is the same as this. Okay, get familiar with what does it sound like when I slide into the third of the chord, play the fifth, play the sixth, and let it resolve back to 5. Right? Okay, I'm just gonna play a little vamp for you on the way out, just to show you, some examples. But boy, I'll tell you what, there are some wonderful benefits to just spending time on your instrument and practicing simple things like this to develop both an awareness of the fingerboard and a connection between your hands and your ears. All right. So here's my little vamp. All right. Happy practicing, everybody.